My name is Donna. I live in Atlanta. When I first started with Natalie, I was totally obsessed with food. I could not get it out of my mind.
My name is Erica, and I'm a single mom of 3 children. My relationship with food mostly felt very out of control, felt very much like an addiction.
My name is Michelle. I currently live in Birmingham, Alabama. Any type of emotion could send me into an eating frenzy. It could be as frequent as every day.
My name is Gwen. I'm a financial systems manager for a large law firm. My issues with food have been lifelong. I would get home and just eat and eat and eat.
My name is Maria. I'm just turned 70, and I am a psychologist. I have struggled with food and weight for really as far back as I can remember.
My name is Suzanne. I'm a lawyer. I don't have the self-loathing anymore. I really don't binge like I did.
I'm Daniela, and I live in the Bay Area in Oakland.
I'm Joanne Laporte, and I'm 47 years old. I live in North Carolina. Everybody was having cheesecake for somebody's birthday at the office. I didn't want any. And I was like, holy crap, I don't want cheesecake. And it was like, wow.
My name is Sophia. I'm 25. Now my relationship to food is completely different than before I worked with Natalie.
My name is Misty Beckwith. I'm 42. I'm an elementary school teacher. I haven't binged. I feel like my out of control eating is a thing of the past.
It doesn't have the same power. I don't think I've had a real binge in, I don't know, the last time.
It's no longer about eating to numb and more about what can I eat today that's going to make me feel good. I don't feel out of control like I used to.
When I think back on the absolute misery, the feeling of never being able to overcome the compulsion of walking around knowing that it was just inevitably going to happen again, the binging, there was, purging, and it was such a secret. I couldn't tell anybody about it.
Definitely the most dramatic impact is not eating emotionally anymore. I mean, I didn't even think that could be possible.
My friends even comment about how much happier I am. The impact has been tremendous.
I think it was the first time that I really found myself feeling like I could take a deep breath and like it was going to be okay.
I did every diet that's out there. I took diet pills.
The Metafast diet, Weight Watchers from 12 on, and
I had done everything I could think of, everything that came along. You name it, I tried it. There was nothing too extreme.
I have been on every kind of diet there is. I've gone to a psychologist. None of them have really worked. I think this is the piece that I've been looking for. I don't need another diet. I need something to change internally.
Natalie's just really fun and easygoing and non-judgmental. Natalie really just poured into us on such a personal level.
it's not someone who's never had an issue with eating, teaching you the tools. It's someone who has been in my place.
The accountability calls, it's amazing the perspective that you get from somebody else that you would never have achieved on your own, and likewise for you to them.
Having an accountability partner who would check in with me on a daily basis, that was probably the hardest thing I've ever experienced in my life, but also the most valuable, because I finally felt like I had somebody there to support me, so I could no longer hide. And my eating was no longer a secret, and it didn't have to become a secret.
The most valuable part of the program is the understanding and why I do what I do, but how to come out of the patterns.
It's very hard for me to open up in the beginning. I'm surprised that I'm able to do it, and I get so much benefit from it.
Developing relationships with people in the class and really realize that that you're not alone.
So, my biggest fear was that I would fail and that I couldn't stop binging and that I couldn't have a normal relationship with food.
That, I would just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, merrily eating my way through, Alabama, that I would gain weight. And that hasn't been the case.
The biggest fear was that it wouldn't work. I was hopeless that, I would never come out of the cycle.
That I was going to fail at it again, just like I had failed at every other thing I had tried to do in regards to my body.
This is just going to be one more thing. It's going to be like everything else I've tried. Nothing's going to ever. This is intractable. It's just never going to change. I'm never going to change. But as it turned out, I am just in such a different place now that, that was not a valid fear.
I definitely have improved, especially because we've all been through diets and set ourselves up for failure. I think it's natural to fear that this isn't going to work for me because nothing else has worked. But I'm grateful that this isn't a program about dieting and you're not going to suffer through anything and you just learn to have a healthy relationship with food. But first, you have a healthy relationship with yourself.
The money spent to the value gained, if we're going to talk technical here, the ROI, return on investment, is through the roof. Through the roof.
I don't think that you can put a dollar sign on the peace of mind that you get, on the community that you get, on the tools that you get for the rest of your life.
I think it was worth every penny and a lot more. Like, I spent so much money on diets that this is, not even a tenth of it. It's got to be 100th of what I've spent in the long run. This teaching would be with you forever. It's not like a diet. It will be with you for the rest of your life.
Even though it was scary to step out and try to fit something into my budget, I was worthy of that value.
Money was an absolute obstacle. The answer is you can't afford not to do this at all. This saved my life. You can't put a value on that.
Honestly, with all of the things I had done over the many, many years to try to solve this, I couldn't really convince myself that I couldn't spend that money. So I was so desperate. I was going to go out and find something else to throw money at the problem. So I thought, well, that's not valid. I couldn't come up with an objection that stuck.
I would most definitely recommend the program to anyone, because if you, like me, have struggled all of your life, then you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself to take this step. You're worthy of the time and the cost.
I would say to them, yes, every day of the week, twice on Sundays, and if you don't do it, you're going to be sorry.
If I could evangelize to anyone about taking back control of your life and starting to love and not judge yourself, I will all day long and tell you, do it. Do it. Do what it takes to get there.
Absolutely. If somebody is really in the throes of what it's like to be face down in the food and crying, I think you're the person to talk to. And I would recommend you absolutely without any kind of hesitation.
Do it. Don't look back. Just do it. And put yourself first. Choose yourself first for once.